right, welcome back to another Chamber Vibes podcast. This is Kayla here. I haven't done a podcast in quite a while, so we'll see what we can do here. Foster is at a training all day today, so I'm taking over the podcast for today. And I also have one of our fantastic ambassadors with us here this morning. Lainey Skinner with Destination Bedford, Virginia, is our co-host this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Our ambassadors are a group of volunteers. They work in all different sorts of professions, and they help us with events or marketing or really anything that we need help with. So they're a really fantastic group, and we've had a few on the podcast in recent months, just co-hosting the podcast, getting to know some of our other members. So Lainey, why don't you give us a little bit of background about yourself and tell us what's going on at the Welcome Center.
All right. Yes, we have a lot going on at the Welcome Center. I am the Marketing Administrative Coordinator for Destination Bedford at the Welcome Center. We have a lot going on right now. We have Festival of Trees, which is coming up. And if you've never been to Festival of Trees, it is incredible. So we have 40 trees. So 40 different businesses come and decorate a tree at the Welcome Center. And each tree is designated for a charity. So that business picks a charity, and it's incredible. You get to come in and you get to vote on your favorite tree, and all the money that you vote, it's just $1 a vote, and all the money goes to that charity. So it's great. And there's also a scavenger hunt for the kids, and it's beautiful. It's a great time. It's a great place to work because every morning you get to walk in and it's just Christmas.
See 40 Christmas trees.
Yes, it's amazing.
And
for sure.
Festival of Trees is so cool because there are so many trees in the building.
Yes.
Like, I don't even know how
There's 40.
you can keep growing it at this
I don't
point.
even know either. We've added a couple throughout the year, and it's, Michelle, one of my coworkers, is in charge of finding, where each tree goes, and she's incredible at it. But yes, it's a great time. We're open every single day from 9 to 5, except for Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and New Year's Day. And then we also have late nights. So we're the first 2 weekends in December. We are open until 8 p.m. So 9 to 5 every day, and then those days until 8. So.
And how long does the Festival of Trees last?
It is from November 25th until January 5th.
Perfect. All right. And we are actually having our annual Align Before 9 on December 10th at the Welcome Center. So that's a Tuesday, and it's from 8 to 9 a.m.
Yes.
And I love that event.
Me too. It's one of my favorites.
It was one of the first events that I went to when I started working at the chamber, and it's just so fun because it's December, people are ready to start slowing down for the year, and you're surrounded by all of these Christmas trees, and the food is always fantastic.
It is.
I think
very good.
Was it last year that it was the twisted bacon with
the past couple years
sugar?
We've had that. Yeah.
It was so good. It was just bacon that was twisted up and it had brown sugar on it. It was so good.
It was definitely
Y'all have me ready for Christmas snacks.
Yes.
And I feel like I need to go home. I'm way behind. I need to put up Christmas trees.
Yes.
40 Christmas trees.
40 Christmas trees.
That's
And
incredible.
Let me tell you, every year you say oh, they can't get better. But then they do.
Yeah.
You're shocked about how good these people do these Christmas
Yes.
trees. Like how do you even come up with these ideas? I have no
Right.
idea. But it is amazing. Our theme this year is a Christmas to remember.
Beautiful.
So it's kind of like a, do it yourself, kind of just figure out what you want to do kind of theme. So it's just, you never know what they're going to do. It's incredible.
So great. I love that.
And it's such a fun activity to just walk through the entire building and look at every single tree.
Yeah.
Because they're all, like Lainey said, they're all so different, and you can see how different people take whatever the theme is and just make it completely their own.
Yeah, their personalities
So
really
fun.
come through. That's so
yes,
cool.
they do.
I
It is.
love that.
So if you haven't seen the Festival of Trees, you should definitely.
Have you
I'm
not?
going. No, and I'm hearing about bacon
my
cheese
goodness.
wrapped things. I'm
Oh my
like,
gosh.
what's going on?
I think it was 2 years ago, Michelle, her coworker, I was leaving the event, and Michelle comes up with just a cup of bacon, and she's like, "Here, just take this. We have
You're
to."
like, I love
I'm like,
you.
Michelle,
Merry
this
Christmas.
is like a pound of bacon. I don't need to eat this.
Or do you? Or do
Yes,
you? Maybe you do. Maybe you
do
do.
for sure.
Yes. Well, awesome. Yeah. So you said November 25th through January 5th.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yep.
All
And you can
right.
come by and please vote and please come. It's a great time.
And all of the money that's donated to that specific business goes to their specific
To that
charity.
charity. Yep.
Awesome.
So
All right. Well, we will go ahead and introduce our guest here this morning. We have Amy Gallagher with Select Bank.
Good morning.
Good morning. Amy, will you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your background? Just let our listeners get to know you a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So, Amy Gallagher. I'm here with Select Bank, and for those of the listeners that don't know about Select Bank, we're a community bank. We've been around for nearly 2 decades. We're in Virginia and North Carolina. And as a community bank, it's our great privilege to serve all of the communities that we live and work in. And Bedford being one of those, we're grateful to be here this morning. My background, way back in a universe long ago, I grew up in Portland, Oregon. I went to school in Seattle and was a footwear illustrator. So started out in the footwear business, which brought me to Lynchburg, Virginia. And worked there for a great deal of time, both on the design side of things and then in marketing and public relations. And then when I left there, I started my own company and partnered with the bank. So it's been a great journey. So I've been able to see kind of both sides of things as it pertains to being an employee, being a small business owner, and being part of a marketing and public relations agency. And then working with the bank, it kind of wrapped everything into one nice package, for lack of a better term. So really that's kind of a little bit about me, and my greatest joy is just finding ways to get in with small businesses and see what they're doing, see what their specialty is, and then looking at how we as a bank can leverage our resources to support them.
Yeah.
And really just kind of create a whole wraparound package to that. So that's really kind of what makes us different as a bank. We partner with our small businesses in a more in-depth way, to really kind of leverage that internal expertise that we have to where maybe they have some opportunities for support.
Okay. Can you walk us through like how you would go through that process?
Yeah, it's cool. So it's different with every single small business, but I'll tell you just like what I was doing last week. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Brook Hill Farm, just down the road. Okay, they're amazing humans and amazing horses. So looking at kind of how can we support them, right? So we enter into what we call a discovery phase, which is our time to sort of say, what are you doing? Where do you see opportunities for your organization to grow or be enhanced? Or where do you feel that your team might be light, that we might be able to step in and help? Whether that's photography, whether that's copy, whether that's strategic planning, whether it's helping with an individual event. It's unique for each partner. But I think what makes us special is that there are not a lot of boundaries. We can kind of come in and say, in a very hyper-focused way, what can we do to help you accomplish your goals so that you're achieving the success that you need for long-term sustainability? And, we look at all these great community small businesses and nonprofits. They're the lifeline for us. Like they're the DNA of our communities. And when you look at somebody like Brook Hill and what they do, it's such a beautiful story. And it's part of why I love living here, because there are a ton of people doing awesome things just like they're doing. And that's what makes us unique. And I love that.
Yeah, and I've only lived in Bedford for about 3.5 years, but that's one of the first things that I noticed too. There are so many amazing people and groups and organizations that are doing so many good things, and a lot of times it's hard for them to get the word out, or maybe one organization is doing something very similar to what's already been done, but they just don't know because they're not in communication. But there's just so many people and groups that are doing really awesome things in the area.
There is. We just had a incredible partnership with the YWCA, and their impact and their reach and the work that they do is so incredible. But like many nonprofits, they're light on resources. And so we as the bank can step in and say, we have talent on our team that could be used in a way that could help support your efforts. And let us step in instead of just writing the check, which checks are nice too. We know, we know that, but, the value that we can add and provide with our team's abilities, you can't cover that with a check. I mean, it's so invaluable because ultimately, when you look at somebody like the YWCA and what we just did with them with our Person Passion event just in October, which was super successful. It's an annual fundraiser for them. We stepped in and said, hey, you're light on your team. Let us step in. Let us perform for you. Let us host it at our bank.
That's great.
Let us procure the product for you. Let our team do the descriptions for the online auction. Let us cover the catering cost. Like those are the things that just go, they take time and energy and passion, but we have that. Like we have a incredible group of people that work for the bank that aren't just there because they want to work from 9 to 5. They're there because they understand the importance of a community bank as it pertains to communities and small businesses and entrepreneurs and nonprofits, and how when all those things get to work together, you create that synergy, you create that success, you create positivity, and it's a win for everybody. And I love what I do. Like I could literally talk all day, which I know we can't, but I love it. I'm so grateful.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's really like, you know, you look around and it's like every day you just kind of want to get up, you want to go to work because you know there's a chance that you could do something that would be special to somebody.
Yeah.
And I think in this point in my life, I'm like, that's one of the most important things to me. So,
and it shows when you talk, like
Yes,
how
it does.
passionate you are.
I get
about
excited.
it.
I'm a nerd.
I love it. We work with someone in the school system who is just extremely passionate about what he does. And I tell people all the time, I have never met someone so passionate about what they do. It's just fun to talk to someone that really cares that much about their job. So tell me a little bit, this is kind of going off script here. What is just a typical day for you? Is there a such thing?
They're up at 4:30. I always tell people, I'm like, I have to wake up with the darkness. I need like a little bit of darkness before all of the world wakes up and starts coming for me. A typical day. I mean, every day truly is different. I mean, I could be, you know, walking around a farm. I could be in an office. I could be hosting headshots. One of the things we've done recently was we opened up for all realtors through the regions that we serve to come in, and we did headshots all day.
Nice.
And, you know, people, that's a value to people.
Yes.
If you're an individual and going out and spending, you know, $300, $400, $500 on a professional headshot to update LinkedIn or your website or whatever your social connection platform is. So it can really be anything. I do a lot of writing. We have clients and partners that'll come to us and they'll say, I'm trying to write an executive bio, or can you help me write a story about my business? I love writing. I paint a lot. I try to, not as much as I want to. I try to, in terms of creative expressions, spread it out so that I have a little bit of my day in writing, a little bit of my day in strategy or conceptual thinking, a little bit in human interaction from actually sitting and serving someone else. So my day is all over the board. But that's what keeps it fresh. I think that's what makes me dynamic in my position is that I do push myself not to have every day exactly the same. I don't want to become stagnant. I don't want to become complacent. I want to make sure that I'm thinking out of the box. And one of the things we pride ourselves in as a team is coming up with ideas that are affordable and that are achievable. And so while there's the piece of me that's a crazy dreamer and she's 3,000 million miles away in a galaxy undiscovered, I also know that I must be grounded. So oftentimes team members will say, we can't do that for many reasons.
Yes.
And I'll say, okay, well, strip it down and make it less insane. And then we come up with something great. But
I think it's awesome to have a good team
Yes.
like that.
That's
to have
important.
have a dreamer and then also have someone that's very realistic to balance out. You can compromise.
absolutely. So we have that.
Tell me a little bit more about, you mentioned just how awesome your team is, but tell us how big is the team, what type of local decisions can be made at your bank, and kind of the impact of being able to make those decisions locally.
So that's really the beautiful thing about serving communities and being a community bank is you really start developing your team and harnessing the skills within that team to directly serve the community.
Mhm.
So, from SBA loans to small business loans to ACH to any of the different services that small businesses need to be successful, we have them. So it's not all just about marketing. It's also about obviously the support from a financial bank, right? And so, when you look at Ken and SBA, or you look at Lori and Chris and ACH, and you look at all these different people that we have on our team that could literally break down for you person by person, it's the collective group. And so no matter what you need, there's going to be a resource there to support you as a small business. And I think that's what makes us special, is it's the full package. And we always say, what's the difference between this bank and that bank? What's the difference between a big bank and a community bank? And really the fundamental difference is that they're going to make a decision based upon what they know is best for the individual, for the business, and for the community. Whereas a bigger bank isn't necessarily looking at that on such a micro level.
Right.
We've had executive leaders within the bank that have always said, the community banks, because when things get bad, that's where people turn.
Yeah.
And, we saw that through the pandemic. We had an influx of small businesses coming to us to find support that they couldn't find through their own bank.
Right.
And so, and we loved that. We're like, we're here for everyone. We support our clients, but we support our community. We're here to serve the community at large. And so I think that was a big moment for us in our market to kind of showcase that level of servitude, that we're here to support all. So
that's awesome. And I'm assuming that you probably get a lot of requests from varying levels of a new small business. There's so many people out there that want to create a business of some sort, and they have absolutely no idea where to start. So that some people might have personal connections of somebody that they can ask. Other people might try and see what they can find on the internet.
Sure.
Is there a certain kind of level of how established a small business needs to be before they can start working with you?
No, is the simple answer. Anyone and everyone. And we have the most incredible CEO, Sherry Sackett. And she is so intelligent and available and approachable. It always blows me away. I always go into to the branch where her office is, and there's always someone in there, and they're running a new business plan by her. They're running an expansion of a business plan by her. Her ability to be a resource and a guiding light really to a lot of small businesses is, again, one of the things that really sets us apart. Her knowledge and her availability and just really access to her is really, really valuable and quite frankly, pretty rare.
Right.
So to answer your question, do you need to be well established? No. Like, you can come with just a vision and a piece of paper, and there are people within the organization that can help shape that and help kind of direct you and guide you. What product is best for you, what service is best for you, what plan is best for you. And we do that a lot. We do that a lot. So
and I think that's so important because there's so
that's
many
amazing.
people that need I mean, there are some people that probably need you to hold their hand all the way through it, but then you probably have some people, they can come to you, get a few ideas, and then they're okay. They just need your support, but they can still do the work themselves.
Right.
And so, I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
I love that. So yeah, we've talked a little bit about your team and how you partner with small businesses. Tell me something else about just kind of the economic growth in the community and how you guys work towards that.
That's a great question. So, I think that if you think about the economic vitality of communities, they really do come back to small businesses. And if you have a successful Main Street, if you have a successful downtown, if you have a thriving economic business within each one of your communities, the other things grow out of that. And that's kind of a simple concept, but it's complex. And how do you very diligently support those small businesses? We're coming up on holiday season where it's really easy to jump on Amazon and start ordering things. And sometimes we feel compelled to do that because maybe they have the most competitive price. But it's a challenge to ourselves to say, well, how do we come out of the box and become more innovative for how we're shopping this holiday season? For us, we're always supporting small businesses through drive-through promotions. Come through our drive-through this Friday. First 10 people get $10 gift card to, this small business. Looking at how do you go into, we just made a really beautiful relationship for one of the Christmas presents that we're purchasing for clients, through a small business, where we make sure that we're finding something that's great and a concept that's great, a product that's great, and then looking at how do we find that from a small business? How can we partner with someone to do that? So I think it's just a realignment, really, of how we look at how we spend our dollars and how we support the small businesses that are in each of the communities that we serve, where our kids go to school, where we live, and it's easier than you think. I think sometimes we kind of lean back and say, add to cart, add to cart, add to cart. And there is a space for that, but there's also a space to pull back from that and say, how are we shopping locally? How are we supporting our small businesses? How are we making something? How are we buying ingredients and making something ourselves as gifts for the people that we care about? So that's probably a more elaborate answer to that question. But that's what I feel. I feel like the big part of it, the fundamental piece for us in healthy communities, are healthy small businesses.
Yes.
And that's really the backbone. It provides everything.
It does. Supporting our local businesses is so important. And that's what we try to do too at the Welcome Center. And it's great.
It's a critical piece of it.
Very important.
It really is. And then we get to have awesome events like the Holiday of Lights with 40 trees and and all these great things. So it's like one thing helps the other. It's like the small businesses are there and they're supporting and they're generating a revenue for the cities and the towns. And then we have funds where we can do nice things like have pretty roads and have nice events. And so that's kind of the circle of life of small businesses.
Yes, it is. Amex does small business season for November and December. And we just got the marketing package for this year. And I think the statistic, I just glanced at it yesterday, but I think it was for every dollar spent in your local community, I think it was 68 cents stays
back in.
Yeah, it goes back into your local community. That's awesome. So that's a huge number.
It's incredible
when you're thinking, especially about Christmas presents, because some of us are a bit on the introverted side. We just like to go home after work, and it's very easy to just sit there and just add to cart, add to cart, add to cart.
It is,
instead of going out and seeing what your local businesses have to offer. But I think if people really thought about the long-term impact that it can really have on your community.
100%. I mean, what you just said is such a great point. The $1 spent and 68 cents back into the community. It's the biggest give back effort you could give this holiday season.
Right.
Is shopping local, supporting small businesses. You know, we think about, oh, I'll write a check to X, Y, and Z, this nonprofit to support. It's like, well, the real true potential nonprofits are all our small
right
businesses.
here.
Yeah, they're the ones that are giving back and giving back and giving back. It's like, that's the beautiful thing about small businesses.
Yes.
So I think that's a great message for everybody this holiday, is finding the way to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I know you guys have a few different locations.
Yes.
If there's a nonprofit or a small business that's wanting to get in touch with you guys, just for a conversation, just to see, you know, what resources you might be able to provide. Do you need an appointment? Is there a specific
Just call.
person to contact?
Just call. We're great at that. Call, let us know what you need, and you'll get lined up with the right person.
Perfect. That's awesome. Well, is there anything else that you want to mention regarding Select Bank while you have the microphone?
I know I do have a microphone. I am about to break into song here shortly. So
You should.
no, I just think that, you know, at the end of the day, we have an incredible team, and we have the resources, we have the strength, we have the experience, we have the longevity to be able to walk alongside small businesses and really make a difference. And that difference for each small business is going to be different. And we have that versatility. We have that flexibility. And it's part of what I take such pride in, because I am such a people person, and I do really genuinely care about finding good solutions for people. And it feels so good to be a part of a team that's the shared sentiment, like from executive leadership all the way down to retail services and everybody in between. Everyone from the ground floor up has the same sentiment. They really want to find the right solution for everybody. And I think that is probably what's made us so successful for nearly 20 years, is that we really do build upon that year after year after year. And we're getting better and better and better, kind of honing our craft, so to speak. And I just think it's really special to be a part of that and see the difference that we can make.
That's fantastic. I want to circle back quickly.
Yes.
You told us a little bit about your kind of background. You got here from Seattle.
Yes.
So
it was a journey.
I grew up in the same place my whole life. I went 3 hours away from college, and then I landed halfway between the two to live. So I haven't lived a lot of different places. So when I hear of someone that moves across the country or grew up in different places, that kind of thing, is there anything in particular that like keeps you here? Like, if you have everywhere in the world to
That's
go,
a great question.
like, what makes you
It's so
stay
funny.
here?
Yeah.
So I remember, I'll tell you two little quick stories. When I first moved here, at first I was ready to kind of fight people, you know, because I was like, why are you coming up to me? Like, why are you saying hello?
You're
Why
so
are you
friendly.
smiling?
Yeah.
What's your problem? You know, it's like this hardened human who moved out here. And I just remember thinking, oh, wait, you're just nice. I get it. And it's not that people in Seattle aren't nice. It's just a different kind of nice. But I just remember having that moment where I was like, oh, interesting. So you don't want my money? I didn't even have a car at the time, so they couldn't take that. But it was just I remember thinking, that's nice. And I like that. I liked being in a place where I just genuinely could walk down the street and not know a stranger. So that to me was a big part of why I was like, okay, you got me. I'll stay. Fine. It's just like, 26 years later and I'm still here. But I love it. I really do. And I think it's really a testament to the people. I remember, being young and not having any family or any friends here, and just kind of picking up and saying, I'm going to follow my career and I'm going to get out there and kind of figure it out as I go. And it was probably should have been a lot scarier than it was. I guess when we're young, we're a little bit naive, but I think it wasn't scary to me because everyone was so kind. And I love that.
That's awesome. And I hear that from because you grew up in Amherst, right?
Yes.
So I guess you're used to the nice people of the area.
Yeah, actually, I live in Lynchburg now, and it's funny because people are still nice in Lynchburg, obviously, but they don't like wave as much as people do like in Bedford or in Amherst, So like I'll be like go driving down the road and I'll wave and no one will wave back, and I'm like, why aren't you waving back at me? It's just because I'm used to it. Like,
You're like, this is a nice wave. I'm not like telling you to get out of the way.
Right.
Yeah,
It's like, hi.
like everyone waves to everybody, like where I grew up, and same with Bedford, and so it's nice to have that.
It is.
It really is.
It is great.
It is. And I hear that from pretty much everyone that is not from anywhere near here.
Yes,
that's the first thing every single person says.
Yeah.
The people here are just so nice.
So
I'm
nice.
like, yeah.
They are. We have good people.
Yeah.
We're
We're lucky. We're really lucky.
We are. It's a fantastic community, and I've loved my time here so far. But thank you, Amy, for coming on the podcast.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Lainey, for
So
joining
great.
us.
Thank you.
And we will, do you want to give out any information for yourself for people to contact, or just the number for the bank?
Like my direct cell phone.
Call me anytime.
555-5555.
Perfect.
You can find us online at myselectbank.com, and all of our contact information is on there. Reach out to us and let's see how we can help.
Perfect.
Awesome.
And Lainey, for Destination Bedford, if anybody has any questions about Festival of Trees or anything like that, how can they contact you guys?
They can just call us at the Welcome Center, or you can also just look us up on Destination Bedford, VA.com.
Perfect. And the Chamber is having our annual Christmas market about 3 weeks from now. So if you are a small business, a craft vendor, anything like that, and you want to be a part of that, go to our website. It's bedfordareachamber.com, and go ahead and claim a spot before we fill up. It'll be here before you know it. So
that's also a great event too.
We love the Christmas market. This year's the 11th annual Christmas market. We're having it at Spring Oak of Bedford, formerly the Elks Home. And it's just so fun. By the time the Christmas market ends, it's dark. They have their lights on.
So cool.
And then you can come to the Bedford Welcome Center and see the Festival of Trees, because we're open late that night. So it'll be perfect.
Amazing.
Yes, that it's going to be, so it's Saturday, December 7th. It's going to be the ultimate Christmas day in Bedford. There's so
come to
much
Bedford,
going
everyone.
on. Starting off with the Christmas Classic 5K in the morning. You've got the Christmas parade, our Christmas market, the Christmas tree lighting.
Yes.
There's a full day of Christmas in
Amazing.
Bedford.
We'll have runners from the bank in that.
Perfect.
Oh,
Yep.
That's great.
Yeah, they did last year and this year again too. So that's exciting.
Oh, it's so fun. I didn't run it last year. So my husband works for the Y, and last year I was just helping them, just volunteering.
Right.
And I think it was last year. It might have been the year before. It was pouring down rain.
Oh.
No one cared.
Yeah. No.
They were having the best time. I'm sitting there. I have got a rain jacket on and I'm freezing, and they're just running just as jolly as they can be.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah. So if there's any events or anything like that you're interested in, go to bedfordareachamber.com, or you can give us a call at the office, and we will be back again next week with another Chamber Vibes podcast.